Okay, I'll call this meeting to order for Sunday, March 25th, 2018, special meeting. And all the selectmen are present. And there's public participation.
Real quick, I had a comment from somebody today who at the last meeting wasn't able to hear Marie D'Souza very well. She can only talk just so loud. Could you look into the possibility of getting a portable microphone to help that down the road? Because it would be better if people could hear.
I agree with you.
So that would be good. Thank you.
Here, speaking of Marie D'Souza.
Only good stuff.
You got an extra pen.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
These are great pens. I'll give you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Microphone for Marie D'Souza. Further public participation. Tom?
Did we miss the Pledge of Allegiance? Or
We just blew on by it.
Oh.
No, we didn't.
That's all right.
Yes,
It's not on the
yes, we
agenda.
didn't do it.
Okay.
We did.
Wasn't even on the agenda.
There was no agendas on the table.
Oh, that's true.
Public participation. I have a complaint about public participation. I really think we should have 2 public participations, only because I had to make notes. This is from 3 meetings ago, that I could not have public participation at the last meeting because I had a prior engagement. I didn't get here until after it was over. So now this is from the a meeting before that, which I think we really should have the opportunity to speak before you talk about what's on the agenda and after, well, because we can give you our viewpoint of what was talked about. I think that was thing. And in that meeting, you also said that you'd like to have, it was about venting for people, for commissions and stuff like that. And I think that we need to, you take a lot of time to vent and this and that, but now you're asking for like the chairman to come and speak at the selectmen's meeting about the committee meeting about a Broward Mill Committee and the chairman for the revision for the charter. Would that be better that a liaison from the building or board of selectmen go to their meetings and give it in their report instead of asking a chairman to come to a 3rd meeting now a month? You know, because if we have 2 meetings, and then you got to come here. That makes it hard for people that are volunteering. It's taking a lot of time. And sometimes it would be nice to have a selectman at the other meetings. And that's basically all I have to say on that. And my other question is, we're sending out an RFP for the town attorney. I thought the town attorney was on contract for 3 years. That's just, I thought that was said a long time ago.
Okay, I will just say thank you. Further public participation. Marie,
Marie D'Souza, 10 Rice Road, Brunswick.
speak right at that microphone, hang it down.
Just pick it up.
Sorry. In regards to the RFP, spoke to several people who are concerned with what the intent is going to be with the current attorney that's on contract with the town, that is for 3 years, or is there a plan to buy him out, and what is that cost going to be if you go with another attorney, and what is the reasoning behind going early for an attorney when you have one that's contracted for 3 years already?
Again, I'll thank you for that. I do have it on this agenda, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But we, two members can only stay for half an hour, so we're not going to get through this agenda tonight. But we can talk about it at our next meeting.
Well, you'll still have a forum.
Well, that's true, we would. We could. Okay, is there further public participation? All right, so we'll go on to the main reason we're here, and that's to approve the total for the Board of Selectmen fiscal year 18-19 proposed budget for submission to the Board of Finance. Right now, as Gail has on the board, we have a budget that we came to by voting on all the department lines of $16,187,461 for a 6.26% increase. And maybe before we really address that, Gail, maybe you could talk a little about the revenue?
Sure. So I gave you sheets of what I have proposed based on talking to department heads, looking at what the state recommendation is. And see if there's any questions. I know you guys are really quick. Do this.
So,
There's a sheet in there that shows the trends, what revenues have been by department in the past. Some are up, some are down. Jason, you might have comments about state revenue, because
I don't pay attention to the circumstances of the state
yeah.
in terms of municipal aid.
I mean, that's the latest thing. The only thing I did not include was like LoCIP, which traditionally that depends on the state going for bonding. So our auditors a few years ago recommended we not put that in because the likelihood of it being there is probably not really great.
The only thing I'm hearing about the adjustments to the state budget are that there are no discussions about adjustments to the state budget.
Okay.
So it seems like the legislature in total is kind of hiding from the elephant in the room. And at some point, they're going to have to address the issue. But every week or month that goes by, it becomes harder and harder to address the issue. So I don't know what that means in total, but there are no, that I'm aware of, there are no specific conversations.
Okay. And last year when we passed the revenue budget, or when we passed the budget, revenues were a lot lower than what I'm budgeting this time. And then afterwards, they actually came back a little bit higher. So we are expecting higher revenues for this year than was actually budgeted, because all that came in after we passed the budget.
Okay, so that's good.
So-
Yeah, just as a simple example, take the senior center, you've got 3,000 in there for revenue.
Dial ride.
Where does that kind of thing come from?
That's donations for the rides
Oh,
that
okay,
they get. And
okay.
that's been fairly,
And another one, just as an example, the police department isn't at 10.5. What kind of, is that, seriously, is that ticketing, and is that in there or not?
I'm sorry, I don't have all the, Kim Scavato, the other assistant,
Mhm.
handles all the revenue coming in.
Any,
So it could be
general
like
categories?
fines, it could be permits.
okay,
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly what that is.
okay.
Under the police department, I don't know, I can ask you questions, right?
You can ask me questions. I can't necessarily tell it.
no guarantee of the answer, but.
I just say do the best you can, that's all, right? Under the police department, now
Okay,
they're
this
down,
is the regular budget.
huh?
I just want to say we're off our revenues
Now
now.
you're addressing expenditures?
Well, I don't know, this has changed here from what it was. They're at 0% increase. But
was
that
what
has
the
nothing to
selectmen
do with
voted
the labor, right?
That's what we
Yeah.
voted on.
I don't think I was here at that one.
on. No, I don't.
Might not have been, Steve,
I don't
we
think
did
I was
vote
here.
0 increase.
So they actually brought it down because it was like point something,
Yeah.
We brought it down.
okay? All right, so they're at 0, but then when everything comes out of the wash here with the labor, this is gonna go up. Obviously, okay, that's what I wanted to ask about that one. And then the schools,
They're not in there.
Not
They
in
were,
here.
they.
well,
at
they got
time
on the
that
last
this was-
page, it says 0%.
Right, now we can put that in, and I think the total.
See, we didn't know it at the, until we went to the last Board of Finance meeting on Wednesday, and the Board of Education presented their budget. That's when we found out how much their
They
budget
came in with
was.
a 5.71% increase.
That's what I heard, 5.7.
Which would be a budget of $39,941,751.
So why does it say 0 here then?
Because we're trying to just go back and fix that we didn't vote on a bottom line of your budget before it was presented to the Board of Finance. So that's what we're trying to fix. So I left all of those papers as if it was voted on last Thursday.
And Gail, you said if you include the 5.7 from the education, that it would be 39 what?
39,941,751. So close. Which is actually a mill rate change of 1.97. A mill
Yep.
rate of 34.74.
That would be a 1.97?
It's a 1.97 mill rate increase.
Okay.
It's not a percent, but that's how much
Okay,
the
yeah.
mill rate would go up.
So just going back to the revenue quickly, we're expecting $171,361 less this year than last year. Is that, am I reading that correctly?
That's in the budget adjustment total from CCM.
That's just the budget current year, proposed.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
This is what he's looking at, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask some questions about our local revenue projections?
Sure.
3 things kind of jump out, and I think they, well, I imagine I have an explanation for all 3, but I just would ask the person who would know. Interest on investments, we budgeted in FY17 $20,000, we're estimating $50,000. Is that based on, did we under budget in this current year and the
Yes.
market performance is
I think we're at
dictating that?
83,000 so
Yeah.
far.
I think
So,
that's what it's
yeah.
in there too. Okay, so that's just an adjustment to reflect what we anticipate the market trend to be.
Correct. We expect interest rates going up
Do we own any stock in like solar companies or washing machines or anything? Because they're taking a beating. Building department.
I think those are all in stiff, pretty much short-term, in the state
Before you
investment.
go further to Jason's, what are those investments in?
We use the
Okay.
state investment fund, and then I think they're just in regular interest-bearing accounts. That, previous, I have no
Yeah,
involvement in that, so
okay,
Kim, pretty much, I've just left it in her hands, so.
okay,
The new treasurer would definitely, I would think,
yeah,
evaluate that.
okay.
Back to my questions. The building department, we're increasing that, the revenue projections there by 25%. Is that reflective of Calamar, or is that reflective of activity associated with the casino, or is that just a back of the envelope
That was
number?
Rand's recommendation. I told him not to put casino in, assume no casino, because we can't put that money in. So he was thinking with the new housing developments going in, and some of the other things, Calamar actually came in this year, so.
And they're in and complete for this year? We won't see anything more?
He's expecting that there will be an adjustment at the end. I guess they usually lowball, and then when the final numbers are done, there's additional building permit fees that are due, so I'm sure he factored some of that in.
So, the housing market and the construction market dictate some of what his revenues are going to be.
Right.
He historically, based on the documents that you gave us, is somewhere in between, well, it looks like he's averaging about 180, when all's given, all things considered, except for this year, which is a big jump.
Right.
And that is mainly Calamar driven, or is that
Right.
West River Farms, or is that?
West River Farms, I don't think they've built, but maybe 2
Okay,
houses
so
so far.
so that's a possibility there.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
Working on number 3.
yeah.
And the town clerk's revenue is also up by 2.5%. Why
Just
would
the
that be?
trend. A lot of conveyance, I think anytime you.
Oh, healthier housing market.
Yep, that's gonna drive it a little bit. We looked at what her year-to-date was, And kind of, I think traditionally, she's been at or above a little bit what we budgeted for her.
Yeah, actually, that's
So
really
I
good.
bumped it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, can we go to the expenditures now?
Well, just one last thing.
Mhm.
Is there parking tickets, $20.
I think that was Steve.
What? Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, run that by me again.
Is that right?
What page are you looking for?
Looking down here under current tax revenue at the bottom, second item from the bottom, above aircraft registrations.
Oh, and taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably was Steve.
I'm lost here.
We have revenue last year
Over on this one here, all
of
right.
$20.
Yeah.
Actually, the budget
talks
was
about
20
that.
and we didn't have any.
Right.
Really?
Nope, you're in the wrong page.
Parking tickets? No, actually, mine was $91. When I went to court, they charged me, I think it was $25.
There you go.
Let's bump that revenue up then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now we'll look at the expenditures. And does anybody,
So, I'm
How
sorry,
much you got?
just one more thing on the revenue side. Based on the projections, it also looks like we're set to over redeem, over collect. We're gonna surpass our revenue target.
Right, I'm thinking, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, and we haven't gotten everything in, but it's trending that way. Yeah.
250,000 off, that's,
Right,
you know, smelling distance.
yeah. Yeah. I
Cool.
mean, I think we will be.
But we missed it last year. No, I lied. Surpassed it. Surpassed it. Why are the... Where'd this sheet come from?
I updated one that I found on this computer.
So, there is formula problem. You can see there we're collecting $30 million, give or take. There we're talking about between 800,000 and 1.1 million. And again, so there's some formulaic problem with this
Okay.
information.
All right. Go back and look at it. I just use this as a worksheet to kind of come up with numbers, that's all.
Yeah, and it carries over, it looks like it's somewhere in the FY 14-15
Yep.
through
Okay.
FY 13-14, because it carries over on the backside too.
This was strictly a worksheet, just for you guys to see where I came up with the total numbers, so. I did check the numbers on the last two fiscal years, I think you're good on those.
okay, we have approximately 10 minutes. Does anybody want to say anything about expenditures? Okay, if there's nobody wants to say anything, then I entertain a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen budget, proposed budget to be presented to the Board of Finance of $16,187,461. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I would recommend that with this document that we'll go over to them, it should be noted to the Board of Finance that the submissions to the Board of Selectmen was an increase of 13.6% over prior year. And we have moved that now to 6.2. And also to note that there will be reductions to that. And I think that the three areas that should be looked at, this is discretionary, and it's also part of the Board of Finance would be looking at in terms of, it would be the CIP, which some of that, I don't know what parts will be discretionary, the Warehouse Point Library, and the contingency fund. So that would have a turn to what the overall is, but I think those are the three key areas in their insight to those three. You know, the library not being actually a town entity, so it's a process for the town to have. That's my commentary to that.
Yeah, I would follow up on that and kind of echo that. The CIP shows an increase of $238,000 over last year, and we have a contingency fund of $200,000. So just from those, if we remove those, and I don't think it's our place to remove those. I think it's the Board of Finance's place to look at them, and we can show them what is probably best for the town. But by taking those two out, we could reduce it from a 6% increase to a 3% increase. So I don't think we're coming in too high.
We're getting rid of that 200,000.
Yeah, and also the CIP increase.
You're talking about the CIP increase, or you're talking about the contingency fund?
Well, I'm against the contingency fund at 200.
200 more, you mean?
Yeah, for the reasons we know.
Yep.
I would not vote for this if that's going to stay there. But,
Well, okay. Any further discussion? Because we will have a vote if there's no more discussion.
Second.
All right. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed?
No.
Now you're going to make a decision, Steve.
boy, I don't know. You know. Is the 200 going to disappear?
It's up to the Board of Finance. We're not going to take it away.
We're not going to take it away here.
That's correct.
Well, then I got to vote.
Would you like to take it away here? Is that, well, if the, well, I mean, the vote's been called, so it's too late.
Yeah.
I was going to try and give you a parliamentary option.
Okay, so,
So I guess it's 3 yeses and a
There's
2
two noes.
noes here.
yes, fair enough. So the vote passes. And so we have now officially sent to the Board of Finance a proposed budget of $16,187,461.
And I'd like that commentary to be in written form to them.
Okay, and I think it's both on camera, and I think Peggy's recorded it, so we'll have that.
And Bob, when we do that, we should do it by category, you know, the Public Works, Police Department, Parks and, you know, the Parks and Rec. We should list what we did to each one of those, up or down.
Yeah, they have this whole thing, the whole spreadsheet, which lists exactly that. In fact, it goes into more detail. It goes into the actual line items.
It does, yeah. would it be simpler just to give them a summary that outlines,
I think,
that provide this?
they have this.
I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're accustomed to.
I think they're accustomed to
This is,
Yeah.
okay.
So minus the 200, and what else were you talking about minusing?
Here, you can have this. I was talking about these two.
Okay, so that would bring it down to what, what percent?
No, I'd have to do the arithmetic, but it would cut it in half. We lowered this by,
So we're gonna be around, say, 3%.
Right.
Something like that, right?
correct.
Otherwise, I would show it as
I
discussion.
would put it in the motion.
Well, that ain't so hard for the public to swallow, I guess.
Yeah, except that's not the real number that'll be thrown out there. There's gonna be black signs that are filled with all kinds of garbage.
I will, if I see a black sign, I'll bring it in, and we'll analyze that black sign. So we'll see exactly if it's right or wrong, because I think a lot of reasons people get confused. There's a difference between the budget, percent of budget increase, and the percent of tax increase. And we'll see. I'm not sure which will be higher or lower, but we'll see.
The higher number will be on the sign, for sure.
On the side of the road, right?
Yeah, and we'll see if
The
they,
charter speaks to the spending percentage.
right.
It should be a uniform discussion point if you're going to be comparing apples to oranges. Otherwise, you're going to be misrepresenting.
No, you're not going to be. A very important thing is the tax increase. The
Then why
budget
does the
increase
charter
is in the
do that?
charter. I agree with that, but the tax increase is what I would care about. If you can, and I think it's going to happen when and if the casino comes. We can increase the budget significantly with actually decreasing the taxes. We can lower the taxes and raise the budget. And what a wonderful day that'll be.
Well, I'm not for lowering taxes, I'm for keeping it flat.
Okay, whatever, we'll see. That's 3 years away.
But that's gonna help a lot.
Yeah.
I think we need to amend the motion rather than putting what I said in comments to have it as part of the motion, so that,
Okay,
Is that okay?
yes,
The way
but we'll have to re-vote on it then.
The way that we did it now, I would be just showing it as discussion, but if you'd like it as part of the motion, then we just need to amend the motion, put all in one. Is that all right?
So the motion is closed, so you need to reconsider the motion. It needs to be made and seconded by somebody who is on the prevailing side of the motion.
Okay, so you can make it again, you can second it again.
okay.
So Jason, we're rescinding the original motion?
I can't do it.
No, I'm just asking, procedurally,
Yeah.
Procedurally, the motion, the appropriate motion would be to reconsider.
reconsider.
Reconsider the motion that will include the commentary that I had.
Okay.
No, that's not a proper motion.
Okay, so,
The proper motion under parliamentary procedure is only to reconsider the previous motion. Then there needs to be a second discussion and a vote on the motion to reconsider.
Okay.
Then the table becomes open again, and a motion can be put forward at that point, saying whatever Charlie wants to do.
So,
Okay, so you're going to reconsider the motion.
yeah, motion to reconsider the motion. huh?
Okay. Andrew?
Second.
Thank you.
all those, if there's discussion, further discussion?
I don't think you've discussed that. I think that's either yes or no.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to reconsider the motion, and what's the new motion? Could you read it to us, Peggy?
It would just be the motion he said before, which is to approve Board of Selectmen's budget and submit to Board of Finance at $16,187,461 with Mr. Szymanski's recommendation that this document going to the Board of Finance. It should be noted that the submission by the Board of Selectmen was an increase of originally of 16.6%.
13.6.
13.6.
Okay. And when the Board of Selectmen finished, it was at an increase of 6.2%. There will be reductions to that. The three areas which he would suggest they would look at would be the CIP, some of that's discretionary, the Warehouse Point Library, and the contingency fund.
sounds pretty
Basically,
good.
Yeah.
that was it. Is that okay?
That's great. So,
So generally speaking, you don't include narrative in a motion. It is what is to happen, who's to do it. You could then pass, having kept the original motion in place, you could pass a secondary motion, which would encourage the Board of Finance to consider A, B, C, and the other thing. I don't know that we're supposed to be by motion sending memos.
well, I think we did. So, I think we can.
You would have sent, the memo.
Jason would have done
The
it differently.
recommendation under the way the original motion was given anyway. No?
Yeah.
No, you would have just sent the motion.
No, I would have sent the motion in discussion.
Yes, but the only thing that's actually binding is, we shouldn't be debating this. The only thing that is legally binding is the actual motion and the vote, not the discussion. The discussion is used for history purposes.
Well, nonetheless, we have a motion on the floor, and it hasn't been seconded
Yes.
by Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, so all is in favor of the motion on the floor? Aye. And Jason?
No, Steve, you just changed your vote. And that was also your...
Well, wait a minute, now, he wanted the Board of Finance to know what we were presented with and how much we actually worked to cut.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I thought I was.
no, the vote was on the budget with Charlie's memo, not
Okay.
just on Charlie's
All
memo.
right, so it's the budget included, well, I guess I gotta stick with the no.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're done. Unless there's more discussion, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well, I'd like to
All
talk,
right,
real quick.
all right.
What about the
All
rest
right,
of the town meeting?
now,
Other stuff on your
Oh,
agenda?
that's true.
There's other stuff on the agenda.
You make a good point. Go ahead, Steve.
right here, the CIP and the contingency, if those were out, it would be down around 3. But we're not, we're sending it to them with these 2 items still intact,
That's correct.
correct? So how do we let them know that we would like to see if those could be gone, that it would lower it down to 3 where it might get
You
approved?
should have manned up and did it yourself. You should have-
What's that?
I said you should
Well,
have
we
manned up
actually
and did it
put that in
yourself.
the
Well, you want me to go before the finance board and stand up and say this?
We did include that in the memo, or whatever it is. But we also, when we reconsidered the previous motion, that actually would have been another opportunity for you to actually take that out.
Okay, I will move that we omit the rest of the items in the new business and also admit the executive session. So omit all the remaining items in the special meeting agenda and,
The proper motion is to postpone them.
okay, I move we postpone all the remaining items in the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
For a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, Bob, will the public get to see this budget you're proposing?
Yeah, we'll put it on the website.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't there already.
Well, we had to vote.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It should be on your website.
Wanna get to see it?
Bob,
Yes.
it should be out there on the board. They submitted it to the board.
Okay, I
I
understand
put it
that.
as an attachment.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.